Ghana fue yedie na bayo yedie na bay Epestin fertilizer booster aya purely organic efrasa asimu ene de mass no obo de ensa no pe na menu akayo se wudro bia nim enti se ode yafu a anya ade aduaba no anase wo a wudi no benya soso bia na chese be ma kwaye aye decoration kane no a ebe fa na tuma pa e de afra na de ma Epestin eda nso kra de se enema no wadua na ewuo na flowers ni aduaba na etiti guo no agya wadwo a se wudi Epestin kanu a ene tese magic no ebe ye prom fe na aso aba bebre ahwadi mu pa eti se no kwiafo ebenya sika ene anigye awo mabra bomu a na otimi se enya sam keto akora Epestin e mammo piafo epenifo monfre ahoman na monje nkyiremu ya ehye medie 0552 505723 and a plus 160 922 78043 Epestin fertilizer booster piao mama fiaduma ayani kapa.
I wanna share with you, and you can share with me. Come, let's share together. Oh, KTA Mobile, KTA Mobile. Technology worth sharing.
It's the future.
Yo, what's here for any Asha for Sabray? Yada Obadi Assessor. I am a penna and na and you ran so ya sign a share mubium and I yawada and yawada Sabray and Sakayan Kasaya Papa, the very Reverend Moses Antwi. Na Sabray the himself Bibi Biara at the Dean Sadia because Jessica draw no sounds soon I won't so ubet me beji awaria a draw. Ewo hit radio so Sabre sawo baswa ye be sure se bomode answer over share video no said ya wunu bi said ya wadan for being so jumadie be ye mfaso ede ebe manu di Sabre de na chese ye da munyina se abre nyina munya emre ede emayen ye de aseda kesian so be ma eye models designs ye da omasi bebre se abre bia omunya emre ede emayen di Sabre de na chese Jumadie a Jumadie Srunkona, Osha topic na Edasuna topic how expectations affect one's happiness in marriage. How expectations affect one's happiness in marriage. Master Grace, Upas Modern, Upashare Kupuri, Abamay, Yadamunia, Success, Mania, and Mary, about the kind of Sabres, not Jumadie. Now, Usiesia will home. Any question be biara and I say be biara we will be contribute no comments be biara I will get the one that I will prepare that's just Emre Jumadi any air cost no munyina mo ba share mo opinion I will Jumadi hu na na topic e hwam ni e be share bi bebre enti da we dey na tesa mensa mere menje wo mere nyina because umresa menso make asa bebre enti sa bre de megyamu atiefo ene ahwefo nyina ehya won sa yere wase bebre media be be mate ade amount dia da se bebre se bibia uga emre ade emayen
yo atiefo na hwefo yeda mase bebre yeda rade ase se enen so waye yadom na yetimi ehia ene yehwe so wo hwe your Facebook and Kwamet TV how expectations affect one's happiness in marriage na idea affect nipa bebre wanigi a osenka onya no aware mu ede ho asem na ye kan expectations obiya tu kwan na obiya constitution bi mu a and obiya koye bibia aya na okọ with some expectations be and to the be obi wo ha a school and a walk mu a okọ with the expectations be say yeba aware and a relationship and also a institution and people come into that marriage institution with some expectations. Now, some of the expectations, they are unreasonable, and some are reasonable. Anunti enne ye pese emre kakra ye hwe na ye discuss. Uwura wariem ana uwura wariem no na wo expectations and say nipa bebre wa sabre no, they are not enjoying their marriages because of the unreasonable expectations that omo ewo awariem. And in the modern, now we'll take our time and go through unreasonable expectations and reasonable expectations in marriage. If you say a idea affect nipa bebre na had bebre, but a quite na expectations eba. Where do expectations come from? The person started a war. Say ye can it chia, ye can say, and ye may be a or share ni mo quine. Say be a wukunu be ye, and now we ye be ye. And now dear be a me qua wadi mua, and ke be a men sabeka, and now minya. A prebebre, and no ne men ni patu anamo. Minim say, min saka we ya, meet me in your way, meet me a your way. Nti ne may be a ye share ni mo quine. A whoasome ne ye discussing. And ye see, near maybe why ye share ni mu quine. You are ye share for you kunum ho, ye share said ya warrior no edibe mayena. Ayana and ye what the ba yentia see any year, a bu or ha, ye bit maka say and faquem papa. And a bu on so faquem, and then I pesa ye share. And ye near my ye share ni mu quine. Expectations na ye can he find free by any pebia what we say wo world view how we say and how I even sometimes you think say if we say is so pretty and no anema wo expectations wo life indeed ebi wo ha fact ebi wo ha decisions social societal norms and a being so ayana if you won't test ujidie and it's money and in terms of a nearma na ye share ni mu kwan e wabrabo ni mu no enema bebre and a chimi e kofa e de e breye na ye bo modern say ye betimi ahwe na ya discuss na ya hwe no ye me pese ye shase free unreasonable expectations. Ebia oh hwe me. Afe na person will enter into a relationship, or maybe you are in a relationship. And that's what the sabre no wa worry ankasa. I strongly believe is that what I'm about to share with you will help you a lot. If you are preparing yourself to enter into marriage, this thing will help you. If you are already in marriage, I strongly believe is that this thing, these things that I'm about to share with you, expectations, it will be a high my energy in me pay our remo. Mammy Musao, say be na worry. Maybe you have married for 30 years, 35, maybe 40. Maybe 2025, maybe 15 or 20, or maybe 10 or 5, or maybe 2, or just a year. No expectations, just think about them. When say be wa me no wo be clear, say na they were unreasonable expectations, and that's what I'm about to share with you. And I strongly believe is that what I'm about to share with you, will be brave. Say, call into relationship, or if you are in a relationship, and necessarily what worry, what you worry mu. Now expectations, baako ne say all problems can be solved in a marriage. And your unreasonable expectation. I honor me person me day if because I know people think say you worry more and I see a warrior in terms of problem and that challenges be a better pop up a bit man. And I'm saying that if you are going into marriage or if you are in a relationship or you are in a marriage now with that expectation you're reasonable, all problems can be solved in a marriage. It's not true. It's not true. And maybe we'll take our time and we'll come back when we move to expectations that reasonable expectations that maybe you'll get the whole picture. Number 2, we are so talking about reasonable expectations. Your spouse should fulfill your every need. It's not true. Things that you need, your spouse can meet all. Get it? And so if you are going to a marriage or if you are in a relationship or in a marriage and you think say your spouse or your partner can meet all your needs, be very careful with that kind of expectation. Number 3, if you are going to a relationship or maybe you have just entered into a relationship and as a worry, what you are worrying now, expectation is your spouse or your partner should serve as the primary source of your happiness. That is unreasonable expectation. In this life, there's so many things and are affecting you. Say you be nijie and I say nijie. There are certain things that or spouse only control. And so if you think he should serve as the primary source of your happiness, you will be disappointed in marriage. And when you talk about marriage, in fact, marriage is not about your happiness. And so if you are going into marriage or if you are in a marriage or you are in a relationship and you think your partner is going to serve as a primary source of your happiness, with this expectation, I'm sorry, you'll be disappointed. It's unreasonable. Because anyama bebre and it may affect yen. A bit more baby or spouse or partner obey everything. But baby or source of sorrow or pain or sadness if rebound only control also. Indeed, if you are going to a relationship and think your partner or your spouse should serve as a primary source of your happiness, I'm sorry. With that expectation, I don't think so. And so there's this notion, and sometimes you read the Bible and say, or born is just so buafo, and I've heard people say they are not complete. And he say unwareya, unye kununya wayira, as if say unya complete, unya whole. I'm sorry. So let me give you the next unreasonable expectation. If your expectation is that your partner or spouse should complete you, I'm sorry, it's unreasonable expectation. Me kwa wadiemu na mi huni say minwie peye obu okro hu se oye fa be ma no beka no ho a ana wo ba no beka no ho a afei na waye mu a se wo kwa ware with this kind of mindset say you are not complete until say be ma beka ho ana wo ba beka ho nti wo yire beka ho ana ukunu beka ho na mo aye complete. I'm saying is a expectation be a broso dodo a broso. Let me take my time to help you understand something here. I said something earlier on. Marriage is not about your happiness. It's about his happiness. It's about her happiness. Until one can make it that person happy. The moment I bring your mindset to say, me no dear me kwa warrior. Nema bebre and ye pay into me kunu aname yere or Mr. Be very careful. Be very careful. And so a reasonable expectation. My wife or my husband should complete me. Then you are not ready for marriage. If that's the expectation. And sometimes you hear people and when they are courting or they are studying each other, so many signs will pop up. The red flag will be showing and other things. And they think it's oh, everything will be okay. It's never true. It's never true. If you are in a relationship or you are in a marriage and you think that sex will always be fabulous or fantastic because you love each other, it's a reasonable expectation. Ubetimi getting into marriage and Nima Bibiri is here. I am telling you, say, if you are not very careful, you will not even enjoy your sex life. And it's unfortunate to say, and yembre nipa bebre wo ho a aya no madwene nyina is about sex. What about anything? And don't forget, as long as we live on this earth, anything is possible. Assume you say you get into marriage. Now, ekobase, bibia pop it up. Now you can't sleep with your spouse again. What will happen? What will you do? Bebre, I got that kind of experience in you. And into the year can say, if the mindset, if the expectation is there, so in terms of a sex life, I don't think so we are going to have a problem. And sometimes so funny when you are taking people through the pre-marital counseling, and when you get to that session where you are talking about sex, and you are drawing them. You are drawing their attention to few things and the way they will react sometimes. I look at some of them and I laugh. Let me tell you, a bit to me about say, Obana uko warano, Bemana uko warano. At the time I'm more worried, and now no. BBI you're in that okay. But here we are saying we anything is possible. You read to me back. And debate to me about say. Awariemu yari betima yokunu yari betima yawire. The fact is your sex life is going to be perfect in everything is a reasonable expectation. With the side no another mindset in Uremua, one here be drew baby no. There's this expectation. It's in the Bible. And I know because I have taken people through counseling, and I've realized, and I'm telling you, say, the idea is that my spouse should never go to sleep angry. A unreasonable expectation. In marriage, a whole open institutional 24/7 is about your emotions and your marriage. That's why Abrebiana may can say, if you don't have high emotional intelligence, marriage is not good for you. You remember when somebody IQ very low, and it make it say suku nyama. If you obekaya Ghana, to the be okra is juma. And today I'm telling you, said the to the be makers will be IQ M1 in the school. Into we think as we need to oko school no school one need to usua de san ya wo. Our real so any emotional intelligence. I'm telling you. Say unye will be a ultimate control and manage emotions or feelings. Who bet me identify the kind of feeling I will go through at a particular point in time. If you can't identify, all Sanya man, I do baby, and Kebeya, say marriage is not good for you because marriage will always test your emotions and feelings 24/7. Because and yet the opposite get it. And there are people who think it's there. And that is part of the unreasonable expectation a year kana ebinino. With that mindset, to say our arena me community, me kunono oh what dome me who say me yede dome, and until everything is going to be okay. It's not true. Get this: marriage is an institution. Now, a kind of institution, so when who the rules and regulations are, you can't survive in that institution. And the moment you decide to enter into marriage, get it that you are about to enter into an institution. There are rules and regulations. And there's one thing: the moment you enter into an institution, there are certain things that you can do. And if you look at marriage as an institution, it's something. You don't even own yourself again in terms of a choice. What sacrifice? In terms of decisions, and in your baby, what sacrifice? So if we look at it from that perspective, when you are going into marriage, say when you will go with unreasonable expectations. Because there are people who go with this mindset, and so they go with that mindset, my spouse will give me whatever I want because he or she loves me. A reasonable expectation. In this life, get it, a nipa essence. And no condition is permanent. Ubetime share onipa bi. Na bi esika won nsem. But ebetime akoduru baabi, na sika ni nsem. Eto de bi enye nipa no fault. Eye wiase ayeti. Bibia timisi, anything is possible. nti bi optima say ushia maame no ushia papa no na bia na nka ne nsem ye ebetime ba se bia na nka ne emayi but eto de bia ebetime ba se nye nipa ne fault obi fault ebetime musika ni bia timi ayi ohiani nti akanfo e wakasa bi se from entekoda. And if you are in a relationship, and I say, what graduate, what moving to marriage, Yankasa itself. Now, if you think it's a expectation is a because of say was spouse or no, a don't adie bia uhie bia no obeya mawa. I'm sorry. A unreasonable expectation. If he say awariye mu no, so wunye duru awariye so wunye wura awariye mu a. There are certain things in this life you don't even have control. And Jennifer said, natural disasters are esisi we are see. Ebi betimi akusi, ubetimi ahwiri bibia, obi wo business. Come on, but bibi betimi esi. Nyema ni nyina betimi afri nsa. And they say, what wura warem se bi dey aware na man kono, mi kunu be ma mi bibia, I will enjoy everything. Kopim se me ware, kopim se me wi a, your reasonable expectation. The next one, me pese ye twen ya dwene ba so me hunu say a reasonable expectation. If you are in a relationship and I say if you are in marriage, be very careful. And they say, my spouse will never change. Who told you? In terms of everything, nipa sister. Yes. In terms of maybe our spouse on his stature. And a body said the name maybe sit here. It's not going to be the same. Get it? How? Or yen nema now journey. Because for abra wo kwa ni mu wabrabomu and I say we share nema bebre wabrabomu no and nema bebre etimi sister. And enipa say edu baby a and nyema any said ye wiase conti. I was so ultimate sister. And if you refuse to change itself will change you. Look at minima sorry I will call, but just cast your mind back. Few months ago, the way na ebia sorry, muya sorry. And the way na muhuna sorry, and the way maybe I would tear sorry as if in the face of this COVID-19 pandemic, I don't think say the same. Near my sister. And so if you are in a marriage or in a relationship and your expectation is that my spouse will never change, is unreasonable expectation. You better drop it. And the passes in terms of everything. BBM. Into my kamba ko nipa na nkasa bia uhunu no so de osi hunu no na me pe bema ne ho ofe ana me pe oba ne ho ofe na ho ofe no ene niema uhunu ye na enka oda. In terms of said ye osi hunu niema na osi te niema se no enye saa forever. Ebetumi ba se bi kora uhunu no na omie ne suku opese okonyina obetumi akọ onko school na niema wusua niema bebe be sesa enye no nko a no ade bi am school of experience life where ye name no a school mo life a school into mo se do baby a mistakes are wo ye sa niema ni nyina no with time no we say you get to a stage na wankasa no said ye na wadwene ye o said ye na mabitie no bo se na ntisa bi. And so if you are in a marriage relationship or whatever relationship and things say nipa no on sister da I am telling you say unreasonable expectation, you better drop it, find a nice way. Because another idea sometimes is people think that because we love each other or we love ourselves, we will always be able to resolve all misunderstanding. It's not true. It's not true. The fact is that move to me resolve BBR. And internet penny culture say awadi bie niwa ntokwenim. Ye can't talk yen can't talk say and penny for na gina na pipe. When you drew baby misunderstanding, tension, silent trade, to me pop it up in a relationship. And the expertise because you are not perfect. And your spouse, and so you're perfect. And as long as you're perfect, not to err is even. Now you live together as husband and wife, by all means, certain things will pop up. Certain things will pop up. No doubt about that. She told the bina oko social media. Yemsha warifubi. Because almost start yenina nanka a sign of life on it. There be nkedu baby and go being to me expose nehunsa. And so if you look at life, now one tears is a nipa sisa. Into me kunu me yere. Oh, ekobasa no. So when you that mindset now, the problem I ban is that you will not even create room for mistakes. Now, if you don't create room for mistakes, or idea be because you think say or spouse or you're perfect in terms of everything. No. Can you just create room for mistakes? Because if you close and you don't open any door in your mind for mistakes, I am telling you, say a reasonable expectation. And anything is possible. Get this. Anything is possible. And desire expectations need to be when you're very careful, a bit more effective. Let me share something with you. This is my personal experience that I want to share with you. One day, be and if you are not yet, Kumasi Akwatia line. There was a bofrake to a be. My man, you're very good. And I remember say, or yare convulsion, the kind of stroke because they're stroke. Now I remember your tama bofre bomb bo na ye pet taxi they didn't shame near than a cock for noche. Now yeah taxi. People, you do come for noche. You do have me hope we could have bofre. Let's see back tobo open tobo tenase monko card. See, really? That's an Rabbi walking. Because your dear Bofrana to area was a montum bonamunko jihadi. We said, don't pesa bofre one. I mean, Tiase. Now, the way a nest, relax here. Now, one rush. Now, Abofrano, ye ne drew, but at a point in time, no one revive. Unim, Madrid is sign. In fact, yes, a Madrid is sign. How am I taking decision? Decision I'm taking, and say, the way nurses e work could do net to the bikura idea you and your moon because if your man will be bebree no and intino who knew adrena a bar madrinum any idea minya adrena say a yes sir ube worried nursing few things are a bit more wow a business say move fear crana bofrana yarea at least obetime treating because we need nimdie bia wo ho a ade kora nye issue no kora na ebe issue ma Enti me nyini no. That was a mindset to say me ware nurse ni. And I'm a case baby and a nipa bebre nim sa. And I know said that people who even now think the same wife and nurse. Maybe by watching me and you're asking me say, so what happened? I feel me nyini. In fact, me worry abra na me yesofo. Na in fact, me kai say bi am say ba me sabre wo trinity say. Me mate ni bi hwe me a me nua sofo ba ko sofo. Penyina mo akoba any people who were close to me. Laurie nom name but before the bebre me friends and the bebre. Omu nyina nu say nurse ni. I remember say sofo mo akoba akra compare nurse ni bi. Sofo mo akoba a compare nurse ni bi. At least few of my friends, even Trinity as an American. But because that was our dream, say at least into the me expectation, you know, at least me worriness in here. And mo frano yare if nyema bibi kakra bi at least mo betimi aye na nya yam hwehwe because e bi kro be check no kra no they usuru ni sanema. But ankobasa at a point in time me decide say me worry no teacher ni na buy two things there be because onye nurse ni anase teacher ni so ebebo wo teacher ni an eba ni ma de da shebabia because I'm talking about expectations unreasonable and reasonable expectations you build the kura warem na wura warem and I'm say one hwe ya a bit my affect happiness and answer because anti me worry teacher ni na me worry no. At a point, I realized that expectations in Ibuha, not they were unreasonable. Yes, I didn't. Now my dream is saying because I was at a point in time, the mom consider me too much and say growing up in terms of education. Me bre ye. There was nothing like Makusuku Aba, Ubi Woho, or Beboame Mama your homework, that this kind of homework you have to do. No. No. Hey, Bishop sir. Myself for Penny. So Penny. Mate, I say myself for Penny. I mean, I know you have been missing me. Enti suku mu nyina no me bray because at a point in time I have to go and stay with my auntie and my grandmother or krokitu abimu and growing up in school beba a whole lot. You have to go to farm, go and work, do days. There's nothing like enti me fata nyina. So at least when your teacher near, at least obitima boao no achire wo ma de baby I make can be say I'm still affecting me yesterday na unim say with that expectation ekwoye me say my wife me math teacher and so at a point in time then yes sister could be and the Emma standard be a me certain mom of runner. I realized at a point in time say normal because so omo mame e teacher ni dia me hu ade krontia bibi school omunya 100% and omo results ba na so mo nya 100% madwene nko school ho madwene be fie because omo mame e teacher. Oh, reasonable expectation. But because the question is looking at a Juma no easy say obetimi yes I didn't account because they say no why do suffer or why will be a keke and now why was suffer so Just say, sir, a institution away with them. Let me tell you, say, marriage itself, no, an institution. When you marry or suffer, it's also another form of institution. I will with them. Because you can imagine number of people are or more or suffer because you are talking about the whole congregation. There's nothing like, and I remember one day I was making fun of my wife. And at a point, and I was saying, you call baby revival. You can read from her face to say what bread. But now also, I think what was saying, you may quite sorry, I me and madam for Sofo or Benfo Kwabena, is your take a Protestant chaplain. Now you can read from her face, he said, from Sukun. Now, and so at least also to me, baby, mission as anybody can come in Ghana, we book appointment. I'm afraid you are, and your friends will be baby mission as no say comedy. Until now, me mark another program about into me, maybe do if you know, say, no, echo. And I remember, yeah, because also cotton, now. Me share na dimwa na say we nka wo ade teacher ni a nka mo fra ye nyina mapon school bibia ni ho bi kenu na say mo che fie sa eti ye me person try to pass on say apart from say marriage any institution wo gura mu no so wo ware so for yes say you have moved to another institution because it's a nyemre and do their share with this kind of expectations, so I'm on your side, when at the same time, on saying ample time. Into the Americans said to the be our warrior who could worry moon. Would you say? How would I do win ya? And then it to the big warrior. Papa, be kakra one in same. And the ana abia and you no cry the family no baby or monsem into at least. A year Diane say, but to me, anything is possible. So you can't be friends. And a true baby, you have to be very careful. And reasonable expectations bring and a bit to make us me worry and I mean real relationship. These expectations, they are normal, then you're and yeah abnormal. Me per se move coho na at least me no share one or two things. So therefore, I mean, have a program. I have to say the awarini. Yeah, the bremo every Thursday and then and so yatna akunyemua. Yeah, the bremo. Maybe I will be no how expectations affect one's happiness in marriage. Me experience no at a point in time no. Na me what challenge. Me challenge me one is that. Adentin na semkrano eko school no moba no mommy teacher ni no manya 100%. And even at a point in time so munya even 95 utimi say enye me de because of what? Of reasonable expectation. Because of no study any lesson notes any everything. And they do baby I will say you're very careful. Reasonable expectations, you know. And also anything. Also, maybe na me say you're discussing. There's nothing wrong. Say me wa worry mu and I may be real. Now may expect to say all of us will commit. Commitment. I must expect commitment from my spouse. Reasonable. If you don't work on your marriage, you will not have a successful marriage. And marriage is so say if the commitment is not there, and in terms of that, I was always petty. And yet one way. And yet one, because if I'm a refi, I've already told you that when you talk about marriage, it's an institution. And so person institution beyond, there are so many schools, but I know say there are certain schools you wish say wo mabeko and I want kasa obeko. I didn't. But there are so many schools. It do baby cry with more friend no. Or college, you know. Look at how schools do the more scholarship and other things. But there are certain schools, but are the new school. You think it's a precope and no do that. No. And so when you talk about marriage, we need commitment. And so you must expect commitment. Bearman also committing, or Bano also committing in here. In here, the next thing, me per se, you expect a open communication and sincere listening. Last week was about excellent listening to each other. May expect and a reasonable expectation that in terms of communication, my wife will be open and here. My pastor, my title is Reverend, very Reverend. I am not right yet. Right? If you are a bishop, then you use the title right. If you are not a bishop and you're superintendent, you use very Reverend. If you are not superintendent, you use Reverend. So people of God, let's move to the next one. You have to expect open communication and sincere listening to each other. Because if that thing is not there, yes, seniors are. Senior, I need you after the show. I will get in touch with you. The senior mates and I remember was it last year he was around. It's unfortunate that I couldn't meet him. The senior, after the program, maybe I'll try to get in touch with you. And he said, "Oh, share our more." And say, was it last week in your cancer? Now, yeah, for excellent listening in marriage. Say, Oko warrior. I think say, he answer say, any pay or you'll be a meeting in a dinkomo. Because say, well, for the rest of your life, you are going to live with this person. Sometimes, and them, but their children they are not going to be with you forever. Very soon, they will leave you. And it's a mummy and nunan kasana. Say muntimi ni muhon komo untimi nkasa no krini. And yet, inti expect to say and I'm talking about open communication. We hear it or spouse here. Because ankobasa, then you are not living in a home. That place is not a home. You remember last week we went through that. What is home? You cast a home one, and they say where we can express ourselves, where the sense of belonging is there. You can just go back and watch last week's tape. And so, expecting open communication, a reasonable expectation. Another reasonable expectation making time and creating opportunities to have fun and laugh together. It's unfortunate that this beautiful institution, marriage, ebinoma yama na quiet to say, as if say, a curse, na a blessing. Because there are people in the marriage, they don't even talk, they don't even communicate, they don't even crack jokes, they don't even laugh. But I don't know, the unfortunate thing, sir, way, marriage is a tissue, people are more involved, the parties involved. Or mobile to me, I social media and they will laugh. Or mobile to my friend will be your phone. But will be a one in it. It is something that I want for. To me, here, spending time together, chatting and talking. You have to expect. The next thing I believe is that I was so share ni mo kwan. May expect it, may share a ni mo kwan say me kunu edi enidie be mame, me yere edi enidie mame. I'm talking about respect. And respect is reciprocal. Any one way. And so there's nothing like me bumi kunu, there's me kunu bume. No. And let me take my time here. Now, when we talk about respect, we don't command respect. We earn, we work for it. Because if you don't work, it's if it's not a command, may a bema, may a trick, and a woman, bema, respect yourself. It will be easy for your wife and the kid to respect you. We don't command respect now. We earn, we work for it. If you are the husband, be the husband. That's the whole thing. If you are the husband, be the spiritual leader of that family. Was it Ebenezer Facebook page? Yes, was the last year or 2 weeks? Family matters. We were talking about lack of fathers as spiritual leaders. Who is a father? What is your role? What are you supposed to do as a father? So, we are papa. Now, one papa no. The respect from your children will not come. The way you carry yourself, your character, the way you talk, and so, papa, if you indeed you are the head of the family, you are the priest of the family. Not only that, you are the spiritual leader. Provide leadership. That's what we are lacking in our families now. The kids want to see their fathers providing leadership. Our wives, that's something they are expecting. Like, if you have been taking your time to study our women, say only possessing in terms of knowledge, everything. Still, say obe consult to obe actually papa and then you can. So provide leadership. That's something we are not doing. And I strongly believe if we will provide leadership, and because we are not providing spiritual leadership, it is affecting BBR. And it's not the church. Was it last week? And I was discussing this thing with somebody. And I said, if you look at the Old Testament and even the New Testament, and they also raise mofra in terms of their spiritual formation, in terms of their spiritual growth. It is the duty of the family. There's nowhere in the Bible I refer to, because look at the Old Testament, even when it comes to the New Testament, fathers, instruct your children in the Lord. Don't provoke them. And so if you look at our family as an institution, in terms of people who are in that institution, their spiritual head or the priest of that institution, fathers, lack of fathers as spiritual leaders, and a huge impact. It will be bias. And to say, abofranum free nanka in terms of the spiritual formation, the word view. That's what the Bible says. Train up the child the way they should go, so that when they grow, they will not depart. It's unfortunate how we have been leading our families as spiritual heads. Maybe we are not providing leadership. And so our women are expecting that fathers will provide leadership. That's the whole thing. So fathers, be fathers. Be the spiritual leaders. Provide the leadership. Here. It's our duty. And then she said, me ye papa, me ye mami, na said ye hose me ye, me nya, I lose respect. Do you know that? Na eko baby o expect is our president. What vote into power. A baby. Now you know that that's the right thing. I was saying, yeah, now won't provide there. It didn't see. Church, baby. Inti your back, your nebus, your fear more. It's something that I strongly believe we have to think about it. And so now I am expecting my husband, my wife, my spouse, my partner to respect me. For that one, you have to expect. It's reasonable. Because if you don't respect, it means you don't even value. And so we don't command respect, we earn. And then to me boom me yere. And you say, oh, that's expectation when you are. I'm sorry, something is wrong, something is all right. Not only that, I was say, may expect to say, me welfare, me welfare, me ye dear here. Doing well in life. I was saying, may expect me could expect something like that. Ekobasano ema onono emwe also will be an obetimi aboa. It's unfortunate that in our time, as if say each one for him or herself, God for us all. In just a bare man, it's about him, or Bana is about her. And we are not working as a team. As if say Yababishia and will be a baby. No, we are one. Say Mikrudia Medie, say Midia Medie. And so we have to expect something like that. Mikunu ni yedi, me yidi and welfare. Crucial. And into most idea be a will be a bear affecting yedi and welfare in terms of everything, in terms of the physical needs, in terms of spiritual, in terms of emotional needs. And if you remember, was it 2 weeks ago? We were talking about identifying your spouse emotional allergies. You know, normal we have life, you know, we have physical allergies. There are certain peanut, obi or ha ontimi, obi or cry normal oil ontimi. And two months says, baby, I stand in background one. Unko trend nim for peanut unko trend nim for sane man because we so allergic to. But so when nimu and now the name be called and their kind who knows spouse emotional allergies. A dear bear na walker, a dear bear na way, a dear bear na trigger the emotional world. You have to identify. Now, in marriage relationship or not, or therefore, and I'm saying, yeah, institution, we get to know ourselves. And to be our nini kunatina for years, onim nukuno, onim emotional, onim no emotional allergies. And until here, until dear Bain, and I was petty every week, and then I was petty from where you know. And today, I can say, only who couldn't try for how many years? Only you try for how many years? Only no emotional allergies, and near man a trigger the feelings, and near me a trigger the emotions, and answer the sentiments. I will try near own team control. And into me me yere, and them say me kunu na me yere no, because the case will be no be anything. That's the whole thing. Do you know your wife? Do you know your husband? Do you know your spouse? Or do you know your partner? It's unfortunate. Sometimes we don't even take time to study ourselves. And so when you talk about our rear, now, yeah, share a niema, me share ni mu kwanya. Me share ni mu kwanya, se me kunu obehu me. No wahu me ye. Me yere obehu me, no wahu me ye. Because when you talk about marriage, it's about understanding. These are the shortcomings. These are the weaknesses. Minim se me kunu wo. Therefore, I am there to partner with him so that we work as a team. Her weakness is my weakness. His weakness is my weakness. So we work together. But the unfortunate thing is that because we don't even know ourselves, we find it difficult to work as a team. And to the share footballers and now soccer, you know what I'm talking about. When they are working as a team, or so ni more. When you said that 7 be move to her, or we be move to her, we be dinechi. Into your 3x2, 4x2, send a yesibono into your planet. Because a boy mumu into also about more when you say we move her, or so about when you say we move her. Our real moon so sanity. It may expect to say my husband and now my wife will work with me. We work together. And you one man show. I come forward nice at HB. Dear Crojim from man. And so I am expecting a reasonable expectation. Say, my wife will work with me. My husband will work with me. We work as a team. Reasonable expectation. There's nothing wrong with that. And it is said, when you get into the relationship, now who say, the two shall become one. But we don't work together as a team. Ekofane ma bebreba. Odofo nyame nhira wo bebre, nyame nhira wo bebre. Ya me nhira wo bebre. E dey ready ase. Producer, nam say bia.
Hello, Robert.
Ye move.
I think Sabre may use opportunity na me de aseda kese ama eye etie for ene ahwefo omanya emre no mama bekan ho ye de nchira kese ma eye Alexander Asrifi Georgia.
Producer Alexander Asrifi no or your software when am ka say me mate or prempe or your software no wa ha.
Oh, okay.
kɛseɛ paa ɛna wamubu kɔ Ghana sesei
Okay.
na ɔba ayɛ a ɔba na meka sɛ last year ɔba yɛ ananka mene ne kɔ ahyia bɛm na bɛyɛ program is unfortunate one of the brilliant students you meet now more
I know sir with technology that could be trained in programs EB.
Oh, I know there. Producer, no parenting Americas after you.
Yeah.
Because now with this technology there. Also for me, Pacho, you are not free.
Yeah, then I'm brave for supporting. Yeah, then Jackas Yasuma, Kofi Sana, and Nana Osai Kofi Kakari, Matoda
Hey,
Koma.
Kofi Sinanso, yeah, me meto alligator.
And now when you're mobile,
Wow.
Abina Charlene, Sansana Koma, Yamami Rebecca, and Yeda Obi Biara Ase, Yeda Obi Biara Ase. Sir, when you're a Mre Ababe Kayahu. Now, I think, Sir Reverend, Mammy, use opportunity now. Yamfa highlighted comments Abba Kakra. I know, sir, most of them know a free a year Usinia ho. Indeed, the air can say, Yet an Asibre. Aya maame ampoma na obehwe kyerɛ or hwɛ or ɔpɛ sɛ or hwɛ saa nso na Sarah Ado ɔno nso ɛhwɛ yɛda mo ase bebree mu nyinaa yɛda mo ase bebree saa bere nso commenter ɛbaeɛ no ebi nie I say if you don't work on your marriage you will not have a successful marriage. Okay. Ebiom so ɛbaeɛ ɔsɛ you need commitment in marriage, open communication and sincere listening, reasonable expectation, making time and making opportunity to have fun and laugh with each other. The next one, so respect. I said that we don't command respect, we earn it, we work for it. I said the father and husband is the spiritual leader of the house. The children want their father to provide leadership. It is the duty of the family to raise their children. And so I said Proverbs 22:6, King James Version. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Okay.
Maybe almost doing well in life, my welfare of my spouse, in terms of physical, spiritual, and emotional needs.
Producer, what we say, make us say, me mate, you know, now one of the brilliant students. What you said, you're making, you know, and they are discussing, you know, within short time. I know, sir, he's now in charge of one of the best Bible schools in Ghana.
Okay. You have to know what triggers your spouse's emotional allergies. I have to be intentional about studying my spouse to know his or her weakness in order to help each other to excel. I think the final was a spouse have to work together as a team. Thank you, very Reverend Moses Antwi. I think and then I had messages, you know, ABC. Mesra bebre mo amuwo Kwamet TV page ni so me try na ba honom na ma hwe se ho so se messages wo ho and also me read but sabre die me den check ma Frederick Jamfi Mensa Reverend I think sir bebre
wait yourself for penny no.
Oh okay.
Now or school or Atlanta circuit.
Oh okay. Okay. And I say, Madam Ampoma is watching from UK. Thank you so much. All the way from UK. Yɛda mo ase bebree sɛ abere bi a monya mmerɛ ɛma yɛbɛsrɛ sɛ moba so a mommɔ mmɔden sɛ mobɛhyɛ video no bɛma yɛn ɛne yɛbɛsrɛ mo monkɔ YouTube na mo subscribe to Kwamet TV ɛnyɛ Kwamet TV yɛsrɛ mo bebree mo subscribe to Kwamet TV mo support yɛn spelling ne da so no woyɛ sɛ wo type pɛ Kwame bi bɛba Kwame TV ɛnyɛ no a ɛyɛ Kwamet TV yɛda mo ase bebree. Reverend, I don't know, sir, a point a honor, if questions been in your money, maybe or honor, you bet me the real more. Not just say, Yenja won't not twice one son.
Police and camera because maybe I move work on the last session.
Oh, okay.
Because expectations, so in terms of your mofrano, a honor me person you move courses in and kayaka papa ne mame ye move work or hana sometimes all reasonable expectations or mofrano no so they too much.
Okay. I think so when an person me bisakakra with these expectations, yeah, is it a way sir we can let go? Because of all how can someone let the expectation go? Sir,
okay. Producer, I say sometimes we are not realistic. We have to be realistic. We have to look at the situation. We have to study the environment that we are in. For example, now we know that we are in crisis. And there be a first, now can be a husband and they taking care of everything. Every time I be a COVID-19 pandemic, yeah, affected him. He has lost his job. Or on the share be able to contribute to. And our wife crying out, what could I die? And she say, now you expecting still no, they know what you know, obey. Sad expectation because there are certain things that wife for your nipa, uknu or your nipa, or none is so above. As long as we live on this earth, and I already say I can nipa son. And say you create room so for change. I will ya dream more. I told you na you kunu na ye yere no no. Or more from any sane man ye bet yes. Na I do baby crowd unfortunate things said ye expected from your spouse no. Ye crowd ye meet this standard no. I told you be a yes at a no. And into the person can say we have to be realistic. When things are not going well, and Nick can say you create tensions be na creating near my baby. I feel a beam the American said the empress ye shenuni. And near my baby it me I affect it in terms of your relationship or no. There are certain things in terms of any compete in terms of your commitment towards your marriage, in terms of expressing or showing love. No? Now, with this technology, the social media tools, and then Nyama Bibre, and Amana a rare challenge. Ubi bet to me a Facebook from within the 24 hours. No, Obenya Bibia Sha completes 24 hours. And the yes three na me say expectations no. And ye ma ye hwe animu kwan ye mmera fo. Na ye nhwe say ye koye animi. Ye me di me ye man me see madwene pe based on na me bia na me fa ne sister na te no. Me wura mu sa na te and I say ntesa. And anything is possible. Bibia betinesi. And the say ye decide say yes abre niema sesa and sesa ebe sesa ye and then can say if we refuse to change itself will change us. And the president can how before COVID-19 churches near run here niema. We think say yankushia face to face, we think say yankuyisia that's a service and your service. And maybe a trim instead of even thinking about the church members and then you hook around in any part, you know. We think that the church runs say running. Oh, as soon you you will say the bank, you will say the bank. But in the face of this COVID-19 now, we can't run churches like that. And at the end of the day, said the only property I would work on this earth is not a church building, it's not a church account, human beings. And we have to spend money to build and develop human beings so that they will live for God. And to be a buildings are easy. You turn here for 3 months or so. Now, your spiritual life, I say,
No.
How to be Ghana chapel? There's nothing wrong with this chapel. Oh, you muha, you go who will be there. Say they know see a nefe. Look at how sometimes you waste sticker. Oh, because at the end of the day, we go and sit there. The idea is say we are character developers. And yet when you practice the Christianity, a meeting place be a cocoa here, then we receive the training and then we'll go out. But look at her, a honor producer. Yeah, how many hours do we spend? Share to the beer. Yeah, 4 hours. I also have 5 hours. Within week, we spend 4 or 5 hours. But do you know the mortgage that we are paying? Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday, you go and spend just 4 hours. Look at the amount of money that we pay every month. Oh, and look at Christ is a cool how it is only cool now we remove a certain mindset. Now if you got name well say hey Saudi we have the bemuno and as Saudi may expect we have to change, revise our notes, get to the drawing board and sit down again and put our heads together and come up with something. In terms of if you add your any Juma we have 95% men would have what be a room with that mindset to say if you add your man Joban Wedrian Mofra everything. You say you say you waste and you're wrong. In the olden days, our fathers and mothers, this thing was working for them perfectly. Everything was excellent at that time because a man Juma ding it's out of that to ye ne pensuya or baby Juma warrior ding beman. Yes, so young Cassa, if you had the only in your Madia. In fact, also I appreciate you. I remember one time I told Soft Mommy, hey, even if you leave us 3 days, it's going to be hard for us to survive in this house.
I have a mama conversation, Kakra.
You're not problem. What is the funny thing? Me carry some more car, I don't know. I said I go for vacation. I'm saying I'm more about say.
Oh, kono so fat yonko.
Because even Monday to Thursday, you can even see the easy. In terms of for the year, can say now looking at the way a near man call any we are sister, we are say into me in Cassachina, into me in terms of standing money now. Now, no, the Anna may advise a man for the say, Mummy no Montina Simbo. Na Monshe or Bana hoarding, Shebemana hoarding. Now, out of that, moon where the beya a beboam. Yeah. I may a bema, me mammy be who say, may yes, I dear will cry, send a number cry my idea. Some mindset now was that there are certain things you be. It been cry fan, I am nights as he said, Sandy money in our Bible, into we a bema, na a common deal. Now we yet a question my woman into Hosa Mekomukun. No, I remember when we in Ghana, one of our stations, and one day, me say, na me pefufu inti stuff ma me ye na ya bofra na ye ne wo ho no oni ho inti wo be hwa kasa of ma me no inti me ya ti No ma come bi kura ba. Adam yi myself for tade. Ana me kan ye door no two mu. Me wa me chance bi board do no mu a na me say adwo ameba. Ana me kɔ nipa no na ne case ni ade. Nti me shatade me kɔ hia me ne call office. Me kɔ kan nas o kan nas be bomb pile ma wi a. Ana okɔ na me sa be fa me wo ma. Na me wo me fufu. And bi bias me.
Now,
Oh, wait.
Who said, what will for Crania when I be a walker, Obiam?
The producer, not me. What is wrong? I don't see anything wrong with that. My main baby. Until say me free, me mammy chain. Never them see me mammy nema. Kumasi baby, I know you wanna. Na unse no ye share into way pra na way pra. We no that's at a point in time, no. Say do me mammy so bepra and they pipe or no. I was doing that. In fact, me walk on a crown and conversation and more mammy. And I was still doing that. Mrs. Sammy mammy near ma na me dear good permuna messy. And say Sammy in any way. I don't see anything wrong with that. And in turn, me advice say, yeah, mammy no say. So we expect to say, oh, baba kwa warrior. Nan krube boanoa. Se kobasa wo ma ema ene mema emfre ma no nko na nkyere o se de esi aduane se no first na yesi wo ba wo be kwa wade wo ehunu aduane no ano enne mema nyina no o se kyere o aduane no there's nothing like wo ba nko na o se kyere aduane no into wawo ema ne be ma no wafa wo ba no tabia bra kitchen bra besu aduane it's wrong. Say no me pamcho enye mma nko na ekyere o aduane no o ema ne mema because we betina konya wo ba bia na dwuma wo ye no said ye ne density and in terms of sika o de ba fie no be ma no enye sa dwuma ne bi sika kora be ma ne de ba fie no oba ne chen e betima be say hours a oba no ne be ma ne adwuma no be ma ne de ne etia eti bia be ma no hours no no wa ba fie a nti won tena ho am oba yi nkoye adwuma din nyina mwie no oba wasa be no a having anunti no ye can producer ne ye kan say tete no ena ne ye frɛ wo ba nko a che na aduane no a ye ma me mo ma ye nyai se wo ye aduane na wo ma mema mema ne ma ne nyina frɛ wo na kyerɛ wo se de wo de kyerɛ wo ba ne bi a kyerɛ na eboa me next week my Ebenezer page lessons taught by life or hine yere give to Antwi and eba na me ka say and na me hwe the show bi or KSM and I remember testimony of ma fa nukru no hine no say in fact nukru ni maduane no and I remember KSM bisa ne say hey na utenye ya wona or hine mu a and then they was hey I'm a free spirit because the whole thing is say me ya na me kru ebe okay me ide be okay enti so your bema in those days na ye nkyere ye but so your bema na so ni maduane ya me bom nsema bebre and I strongly believe we say yeah because you sua eboa ye because say ba half for February na so of my minion week vast na into also start no ba be June something and I remember it was so funny that and they dream people police also be at tranquil for some time one na me the tell cry na me re ya fi na me nim say duane say we ya the bia
Oh, yeah, now you're perfect.
that old school na my friend I was force na we and we and therefore, yes, sir. Yeah, move work on the next segment, you know. Yeah, share unreasonable expectations from the kids. I know sometimes, we just assume say, and mofrano, bibi wo mutimu dada. Hey, producer, my who message be me mami. A lot of men know how to cook. Oh, so for put it to challenge. Mama, Mate will work on that. Yeah, but a man, member, one in Median, no, your man, Wedrian, and a man, Wedrian. Yeah, bomb pious crisis in the platform. We see what we can do. And therefore, the year can say, Abofre Bia, ye be wuni Bia. My yenya dream say, Wunim Papa, and ne bonny. I am never say, give you any team and what they are, but it is never true. And then I will say, train the child the way he or she should go. Sometimes we just assume that a mofrana be maybe. And I remember some years ago, I was in Ghana. Now me call. Now it was about visitation. Na mi refie back. Na ma mi bi chisi ne ba. Na wa bono na bofrana je no udwane. Dia bofrana bi so mi sa na ne ma mi di nechi. Na zo mama adan. So for abofrana woni me da seka. Na mi nya abotre man. Na jam krokro abofrana na bi jam ne di bia. Ti mi ne ma mi ni share am se mamba cho. Eni ma ni bi wo ho a aya na expect from mofrana edin. Abofra bi eni wa ye wo no a thank you me dase o de ba yo. Abofra bi eni ho a odidi atem a o de ba ye de bi ahom fa na ha. Se wo bi ko suku a yetimi ka se first grade we ene ye de kire no. Nti ye kire abofra no a na ye no nsohwe. Ye hu se wa pass. Se du ba bi na abofra na am pass a etu bi yetimi na repeat. Aniema no teacher ni so make sure say watch no what ase. Asema na make can say ye musa ye parents say syllabus ben na ye wa ye de e kire emofra ade. Syllabus ben. And from 0 to 5, 2 and now 5 we and ye de kire wo. From this time to this time we and ye de kire wo. In fact, a mofra no cry no, say nyame ya do ne mofra no bi nyini no mba ye mofra pa. E wo se ye da nyame ase ne mofra no cry ye da wo mo ase. Hwe wo bi ko suku a ye heda wade e de kire no. Tete no na nana no ye. But bedru ye penso ye nye. Tete no se ye wo oba no ye oba. Na maame na fan. Na maame ni etrini no atete no. Na krom home man penifo do poverty ayina right na omunso abem omo training no. Enche bia na ye ne Methodist panyini pa baako aye lay president edin komo na woka is the nine life abra wonyini na ne community na wotimu no obi atimi training bia to the thing say at a point that papa baako also wo ya de kra papa ne si ni kwan papa na mpene onye ne papa o but o si ni kwan o ma ne kwan anye oh in so wo hwetete no a in terms of training na ye nananom yade but min suro anka meka say ye kra ye ka formal education ye nya opportunity ya go through formal education ye musa ye ho say families no dodo say and omo wade e friend say syllabi I will money chire mofra no me ba no from 0 to 1 this is what I'm teaching from 1 to 2 this is what I'm teaching send ye school no. We don't do that. Sometimes we just assume, we just expect and unreasonable expectations. That's what I'm saying. Na wusha eto de bi say e de be na ya kire no a enti efi say woni mu a enti ode anyini wo sta na bofra na ya nkire de bibia enti onyini ye to bia na wo ya bofra sa na ma no nkosia no we onkofa na. I remember menya experience bi and it was so unfortunate. Girl e wa bridge ha ya wadru ne baby e ma edu a omo first experience ne sa ne ma no. Now the unfortunate thing is that Nema many and the parent no omon children. Yes, or my children and as I say, omon children. And so the unfortunate thing a poppy up on this there. You that day. I rather hear mobile. Akranwa a go through study. And near more distance, you know, and near more the year, you know. Narrow. Nti tete no entimi master will be back ebenya the first menses na parent ni but ene ekoso bebre it's unfortunate say ekoso sir enti the American say yen shada make conscious effort say ye try ye mofra de na ye nyai unreasonable expectations na say when you also okosua no way teach the child so the way so there's a way we have to teach them. Oh, Okosiku, obeye doctor. There are certain things they train. Okosiku, obeye suffer. There are certain things. Obeye accountant, obeye nurse. Yet TMA. And then you did it too. Then you did it. And to do baby, how I expect him of friend. I need too much. Let me share something. I do baby so and so boapa. I do baby. Oye papa, oye mami. Nebi amawo. O se to de bia. Emofra no. Ebi anaketua wo. Emofra na ewo fie ho no. Se kobasa wo mo so omunua ketua ni mu a. Enye wo madwuma wo. They are doing that out of ayi keke. Ubetimi akọ parent afie bebre mu a as if say emofra no eyo madwuma. They are just helping. And I strongly believe say I was saying we need to understand that they are just helping. They are just helping. And indeed, therefore, yes, bebre. Mama, you make conscious effort to groom, to train our children. Na ye nyai unreasonable expectations. I was so timi ye we. Na so unsa. Na so we say, dear na yachre. Inti yachra bofran have to say thank you. A kwabe ne fast to children. Ya tese who said the chira bofra no wa pass onim anase wonim. Inti for any ahwefo de yesre bebre na ye can say unreasonable expectations no you're very careful. And into say do baby a ye discipline e mofra no a na nke hu here. Because we just assume certain things. Meanwhile, yen chire. And that is a teacher ni subject be and course be unchira bofran. Unchira student and so expect some pass exams. And then no munkusi and no pass. It do baby that's how we treat our children. And it's unfair. Penyina mo ade no nana say. Ya make ya chire no. Nti tete no. Na nanu mo hwa da chire. From ye usa unyini nyina usua kasa ni nyina na ye chiro nti ye cultural values na ye chire panyini ene wo kasa instead of be kasa odi ade ma panyina emfa wonsa we hwe use the way omo chire no odi nyini nti unyina anye difficult thing ma wo te ka mu anase wo ko baabi ana wuchia panyini bi no wo so ade a je wo say ye kire ye sade wi enti wo kura no wadwe no kura no emwa wi so be hia panimu bi no so anema na wo be san ye mi say ye ne pensu sa ye cultural values no e wo hene families do say and e family values so that from day one this is what we believe. This is what we think say it will help the family. Inti abofre bia ye be wonu bia adewe na ye kire no. Inti unreasonable expectations e wo ye mofra hono so ye pancho ye kumu mofra na. Edu baby a ye expect too much from them. Children will always be children. Eto de bi kra ahwe wo. E bi kra na wo ye abofra no. Oh, and I dear back to baby, I will fear, yeah, that expectations to know a year, baby, na brosocran say, we think say yeah time or no and no more time. People actually one more time, near time or too much and yeah time and one more time. And one more time near time. And the papa be one maybe I'm not making reference. Me yini me pacho win and so what? Who didn't say Jay? Oh my papa right? Environment no woman. Yeah, we were crassy and now we're trying crassy. Who saw the idea? Who the old Didi agro nyina wa na wo manufacture. Ono nso no do ne penso no. Nyema odidi agro no nyo na manufacture. First okra na nka akoto no what na computer fa na tablet a game bi opese obo bia but ye wo be kaya ndozes o tie krase ana wo mpo ano wo ba bia wo bia no. Hwe nyema na didi agro. And so can we be realistic? Because sometimes unreasonable expectations from the kids, we are just destroying them. We are just destroying them. And a true baby or ya bofra, but near person will zoom up and you grow. And sometimes we just confuse them. We need to understand their world, how they look at things, how they perceive things, how they talk and they do their things. Because they say the problem is that the gap no we should find a way to bridge the gap because gap no and until yenti womwase and almost don't take us because we are not ready to learn. We think that we can impose some of the things that you go through. No. In Africa, in Ghana, no. Penini kasa, the idea is a enkabi. But for you sense in terms of Saneman, dear to be an penny for Neka. Not your more can a yepa, and nay you want penny for be at your more can, and yet, who goes social media? Atem Didier, abofre bia wonima Didier atem Didier bia osun afri penino. Abofre bia wo ya abofra boni bia osun afri penino. Yes. That's the whole thing. Who abofra? That's the way Didier atem a bede wosuya. Ebia wo hu nidi but okwa abonten no panyini bia kire ne ba atem Didier. Only nuku the process of nuku otimi bia na no di nata. Abofra no wafa nti abofra no ko school no okoka nti abofra na yesi odidi atem no I wo school mu nti abofra no so osuya firi hinifa because ye wo abofra na bibia ni tiri onima de e friend say aboa ana e friend kwasea ye na eputu wo eno nti say ya nye very careful na ya nhwe sta niema we ya e kreti niema bebre enti me bisa o say mama papa syllabi bay na wo fie and wodi chiche emofran. Train the child the way. So there's a certain way. We can't just train them, raise them anyhow. There's a certain way. First of all, we need to discover that certain way. Train the child the way. Into a queen be war. A queen be war. Also, Mofaso. Na yeno ya the way you train here and no na person you put two sani many nyina abisio for entesa and na yenya botre ye mofra no mu wiase ne sei de be omo language ne sei e de no omo world view omo hunu ne ma sei omo te ne ma sei omo te ase te sei but ye de ye tete de no and ye person ye de che abisio for Daddy, and to the American say, I am not unreasonable expectations from kids, no. Ye kumo, ye nyai, ye mrafo, na ye nyabotre. So one children don't expect from him. So one children expect to say a automatic obehu, and it's unfortunate that there are people who think like that. They just assume say mofrano elsu. A dear no watcher no say go. A dear no watcher no. I was saying go. One channel. And yet therefore Yadama say producer my name says Sabia question and now BB Abba and then
Okay, Reverend, where you yada sebebre medina atiefo ne ahwefo nyina name I know say comment no ba na eba anije no adosun ti sabre de yeda se bebre na question ba kwa na kan me pese me bisa ne say which means with our expectations see your expectations bet me ama yehu your partners as failures.
Exactly. And it's already topic now. What about here discuss here? That's the whole thing. And you do baby, when you fail, and you based on your unreasonable expectations. And then I'm a wukuna kwasha kona be say, what did the abraboy mood dear? Because and yama we expecting bia baby. And you think you say we expecting the same thing every no. But unti me, yenim de nye pe, ya ho de nye pe. Enti binim wo ho a, enti na producer, I don't like labeling. Because eto da bia, ye de obi tutu obi ho, ni a label no.
Sir.
And you're wrong. Enti etiefo ne hwefo de yes, and then they say, you're very careful how we label people. Because sometimes, yenye ankasa unreasonable expectations, and until the man de condemn ubinum, near label binum say way where you say. A trebia mammy quadjuma by what bread, mamma, and yes, what you're quite for, producer. But expect to say, our dear Munutan beyond or Ben Wedriane, I will say, base, oh, this you're very careful. Some biano, as if said, you come here, you come, because expectation, abnormal. Beyond na who own to me, but you expect to obey. Oh, so you're just animal win, baby. No, there's a dear friend is like happiness. It be my word, because in the expectation, too high. Now, because they own to me meet the expectation, you think it's on your good wife, you think so on your good husband. For this, I'm telling you, say. Our year baby baby. If it's animal, unreasonable expectations, I may be no my bad husbands, bad wives, and that's what is destroying us.
Yeah.
We have to be realistic. And two months will be what our producer. Okuno, ne yidinti okuno. Adi kura one team kura no team say adi we dear mean to me. Nenso said ye beya ne yiri ananukunu lebu ninti. I didn't want me cry no for swine. I bet you no akunya yade. The unfortunate thing is no free mu ya. And the unreasonable expectations they producer, not to say Emma o our remu when in yikeko producer to make the divorce our jayaba. Because obi wa beshana into one said me obano where your quadro chain will be it will be a nice quadro na 1 year. Anya quadro. Me kuno on pebre. Edu baby and yes brand one expectation because be a crowd don't want to adam for be and the new kunu or cast way where your way and away and away and untino one so when ya sad expect to say through kuno who expect to sad in through who will be the way I was see producer nya video we aso na one time be a can someone obi a woni new kunu entokwa enya de keto adanya nukuru mu no adena nukuru mu na wo foro ka na wo sika ofirika na mukura wo mie
do no
wa won hwe papa na one ne kwa asore no wo mo pa asore na papa na bebie gate na yeda betu no aka atum okodu fie ha na wabie na hide na si na one day e no mo ka sey e na papa na wo bie door e ma na yere foro na o ka tum no ono e ma wo mo left na kwa ba asa na yere kwatena akire. And now no papa is because of any time for no better anymore. And he no our country do ya will be a door not knowing say cano gate door no I say and ye beer from outside won't me beer from inside. Now we know I went when you look at this.
Yeah.
Then tears say ye did nipa binumachia ya what the enquy. Ye didn't penning be a chair one share, but who crans and a emerald.
Sir,
for yes, mommy, and you're very careful. I was animal.
Yo, Reverend.
Expectations, no. You were unreasonable expectations. And you were reasonable expectations. And then, Sanya may na yashe and na yaka. Expectations, we are saying, say, you reasonable. Some are reasonable. Because a true baby, I am not the expected and I demanded from your spouse. No, a true baby, or more, I understand. I wish say we can learn something from the God.
Yeah.
That we all have faith in Him.
Okay.
At a point in time, all my talent, also sure will be said here now more day. Is it here or assess it? Can you just take time and assess your spouse? Can you take your time and assess your partner? Because a boy be brave.
Yo, where the Reverend Yada I think say and Nadia a higher na ebia yadi jumadi no ebesinti Reverend Mesrel bebre said I'm di kan and then mini studio and kasa enti or last words would be my sounds na me church here for nyahwefo say Ebenezer Methodist Church Maryland yeah programs from komo hwe danchen lessons taught by life almost special guest Ohineyiri Gifty Antwi. Date ni 26 August next week. US Hanum 1 p.m. Host no yankasa papa nti moma nyina yenye adwene yanko support so adwumadi edi yanko tie na adwumadi edi tie so ebeboa ye bebre nti sabre the reverend o last words kra wo de be mayen na ye de adwumadi no aba awieye.
The American say our for and you may be I na ye share free you kunumuwa ye nya botra na bruso ye share free mu nya muroso ye share free ma ha ye muroso na ye nto ye bona na bruso if you say nipa bia no ye po on limit ye po ba bia na ho den ekokopem mesre ba bia ni ho adwo mo ma ye nya botre na ye ntena se na ye ntete ye ho ase na ye no ye ho na me gidi se wrade be yadom aware institution wura mu a there are rules and regulations and inti do baby a school na wakwa ko wura mu no very careful about unreasonable expectations be or her reasonable and no dear and no na hwe na menhwe niema kese niema wukuru ntimi nye niema wa akura wuntimi nye emfie dukra ma opportunity a wuntimi nye na adenta na mehira mo bebe nya me yadoma na wo twese ne ya besa hia mechia mu nyina awrade
yada ase bebre sabe yada fra kese be ma reverend ene obi biara wonya amre obi biara obeka ye ho yada masen so say mo follow ye ne mo share ye videos no dia man sa video yi bia oba join in the middle stress bomode answer obeko YouTube na ko search for Kwamet TV na unsabeka video no bi yada masen bebre nti sa bre ne yada djumadi no abawie ya ne sa de yaka che mu nyina ne say yada masen bebre mo yemfa commercial say see ya na yada djumadi na abawie yada masen
Ghana fue yedie na bayo yedie na bay Epestin fertilizer booster aya purely organic efrasa simu ane ya de masase no obo ade ensa no pe na menu akayo se wudro bia nim enti se ode yafu a anya ade aduaba no anase wo a wudi no benya soso bia na chese be ma kwaye aye dekorate kane no a ebe fa na tuma pa ede afra na de ma Epestin edan so kra de se enema no wadua na ewuo na flowers ni aduaba na etiti godo agya wadwo a se wudi Epestin kanu a ene tese magic no ebe ye prom fe na aso aba bebre ahwadi mu pa etise no kwiafo ebenye sika ene anigye awo mabra bomu a na utimi se enya sam keto akora Epestin ya mammo piafo apanifo monfre ahoman na monje nkiremu ya ehye medie 0552 505723 ana plus 160 922 78043 Epestin fertilizer booster piao mama